Owen has previously won the Victorian Open, and I think also perhaps the Australian.
We'll let you know what Owen has been up to. Yeah, certainly in the last the VCA GC Open at the beginning of this year, he performed very nicely. He performed well in the President's Eights. The bronze medal, he was had a good tournament. So he's been playing very steadily throughout the year, and a very solid record. He didn't perform as well in the Interstate Shield as he would have liked, but still very commendable.
So now Richard really has to stop that blue with this shot. This is virtually his last chance. It looks like it's in a perfect hoop running position. So I'm thinking he's lining up to hoop. I wonder if he's got room to get past that blue.
Yeah, he's probably conscious of the blue there. It might be in the side of his mind. Oh, and the blue is dispatched.
That's a nice shot.
Still tussling away for hoop 3 here. In the previous games, the commentators were remarking on how some hoops can be over in 15 seconds and some can take 15 minutes.
Yes, a bit of a tussle for this one. The blue coming back. It's not in hoop running position from this angle, but red might just choose to have another go.
Certainly sizing up the red here. See if he gives us a nice blow or whether he tries to tickle it in. He hits it with some venom. It is rejected, and those quadway hoops really give a very solid rejection, don't they, Trish? They don't sort of beat around the bush when they stop your shot from going in.
Of course, they're set with a very narrow clearance, so there's not a lot of room to get through. I think red's going to be dispatched now. No, he's going the hoop.
Oh, very nice hoop, very smooth. I thought that there might have been an option for Owen to have popped the black nice and close and then done something with the blue, but I suppose the red would have only ever been about 7 yards away. So it was a good shot.
It's travelled well down towards hoop 4. I think they're playing on court. I think they're playing on court 2, Gareth, which has some very interesting rolls and hills on it. So the positioning shot that Richard just did would have been quite difficult to control.
It's a lawn with a fair amount of character.
Character, that's a good description.
And coming in, about 3 yards away from the hoop, sort of close enough to make it a runner, but not so close that it's got an easy target on its back for yellow. Yellow should still be able to clear it, but it won't have quite as much control as if the blue ball would come in a bit closer. Did Richard pop that through the hoop there, Trish, or did he just go to the outside? I think he just went to the outside, didn't he?
I think to the outside, Gareth.
Yeah. really crouches down. It just uses the top 24 inches or so of his mallet stick. By no means, though, the player with the most crouchy stance. Because I remember playing some chap who was bent at well over 90 degrees for his shots.
One of the Welsh players, I think, has a real squat as he hits.
Richard aiming to clear this blue, and he does so very nicely. The blue dispatched right up to the northern boundary, and almost not a centimetre harder than it needed to be. It's put the blue all the way up the top, and the blue's just trickled over that northern boundary, and the yellow has stayed in the vicinity of hoop 4.
That's what you want when you're doing a clearance, isn't it, Gareth? Just you stay, he goes.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see if we get one of these characteristic Owen shots where he takes a nice lusty swing but grounds his mallet almost immediately. Of course, that's a beautiful shot, isn't it? Right in front of the hoop.
From that distance, it's very good. You notice a huge difference between Owen's style and Richard's. Richard's very tall, long mallet, big swing, very smooth, and Owen does that little bob.
Yeah, a real grounding of his mallet when he takes the shot.
Very effective, though.
Oh, that's a bad miss. Skewing it off to the right and leaving Owen now in very strong control of hoop 4. 2 runners.
That was a surprise miss.
A very surprise miss. It happens to us all.
And that was a surprise miss too.
Yeah. What a surprise. Bobbling out of the jaws of the quadway hoop, nestling now beside the leg. So Richard will be hoping to dislodge the blue from its hoop running opportunity.
Shows how quickly things can change. Owen was completely in control there with Richard's last miss,
but missed it again. No? Well, that the previous shot that he had with the red skittled off to the right hand side. That one missed to the left by a similar amount from a similar distance. That doesn't do your frame of mind any good at all. And that does it even worse when the opponent then just clonks the ball through for a 4-0 lead. Now, Trish, a 4-0 lead sounds quite devastating, but in fact, I'm sure you've been behind 4-0 on many occasions and have managed to bring it round.
I'd rather not be, but yes, there's quite a bit of luck.
Well, I always figure that if you're 4-0 down, then you get the next 2 hoops. So you're at the turn, you're only 2-4 down, and then because hoop 7 is a shorter one, even though you're going second on that one, there's a chance you might make it, and suddenly it's 3-4. So it's a nice positive way of looking at what is quite a grim situation.
Yeah, I noticed Richard was sent to the penalty point there because his red had missed to past halfway. He's recovered very nicely, got a lovely position for hoop 5.
Lovely shot.
His yellow ball is way down in corner 4, so he's not in really good shape. But if Owen doesn't hit this, red's definitely a runner.
And he doesn't. So yes, the red is in a good position. And Trish, you say the yellow is down. Well, we'll see, won't we? Because he's walking towards it. So, yeah, the blue's got a long shot on the red. So he might be thinking of protecting the red ball. It was hit with some pace.
I think perhaps he was looking for another positioning shot so that if red was clear, yellow was still okay.
Yes. And that clatters into the hoop, so he's obviously going for the hoop there rather than going for the clearance.
Would have been a very good hoop.
Would have been. Well, if Richard can get this and trundle up to the next hoop, I tell you what, 2-4 is a very different scoreline to 0-4.
That's right. You'll be hoping for that.
Oh, he certainly got some pace on it, but it didn't get enough wire to calm it down. And that was all very Egyptian there, the scuttling down to the northern boundary.
It gives Owen an opportunity to hide from the red ball.
Now, you were saying earlier, Trish, that these two players would counter each other quite a lot during the course of a normal season. In fact, this year they've only had 2 battles together and honours shared. So they've beaten each other once. So you haven't met quite as many times as we expected that they would have done. So the score now 4-1.
I'm not sure what Owen was. I'm not sure what Owen was doing there. Perhaps trying to come in wide from yellow, but if he did, it's not great. But he still has an opportunity to promote the blue with black. But Richard has quite a nice target there.
He does.
Couple of options here for Richard. What would you be doing here?
Well, I would certainly be cognizant of that promotion that you talked about, because the promotion could be quite devastating if black is able to put blue wide from the yellow. So that would be on my mind. It looks as if he's just going for a sort of deep roll. Do you think he wouldn't have been going to try and push the yellow up there? Do you think, Trish?
I don't know. That was an option, but it would have just got cleared. I'm wondering if Owen is now thinking about promoting the blue. No, he's decided not. He'd like to get rid of red.
And keeps the black there very nicely. And off the red goes. And again, it's one of those shots where just the right amount of energy was put into it.
All right, I think Richard sees that blue is definitely going to be running the hoop. Looks like he's going to try and clear that one. It is the most immediate danger to him.
Yeah, and it looks as if he does have visibility of it. Ooh, and that's the third time in the last few minutes that he's sprayed a shot a little bit wayward. Won't be happy with that. I think we might see a bit of jawsing here. Well, it was certainly
he was hoping for the jaws. He's not very happy.
No, he doesn't look like the sort of chap that's 4-1 up.
Right, we've still got 2 balls.
Kenley is looking very pleasant today, and the lawn's looking a nice sort of green. Clearly, a lot of great work has been going on by all the volunteers that maintain this fantastic facility.
That's right, Gareth, and we've had such a lot of rain too, so the grass is growing like mad, so they're mowing like mad as well. Last weekend was very, very wet for the Australian Open. No, there's a close miss again.
Yeah, I mean that one was a more difficult shot. But never nice to see your clearances sail by.
It gives Owen a chance at a longish hoop, but one that he's very capable of doing.
And just
little rejection
on the left-hand stanchion. And that's nice for Richard. It gives him a chance to bring some balls back in. Owen doesn't have a runner at the moment, so Richard will get the benefit of being able to go through a good rotation.
He can't afford to place yellow for the hoop with blue so close.
No, that's right, Trish. Anything within shooting distance of the hoop will be dispatched by those predatory blue and black balls, and I think that's a perfect example of one that will be dispatched. And the problem there is not as much that it's going to be dispatched, it's more that black can improve its position by doing so.
That's right. So blue could take position now and depend on black to dispose of yellow, because red is a fair distance away on the boundary beyond hoop 7.
Yeah, and blue could probably put itself in a position that's even obscure to the red as well.
That's right. So
yeah,
red's really in a bit of strife here, unless it can move the blue or move the black.
Yeah, this is a problem for Richard. One of the lovely things about golf croquet, though, is that every shot is a new opportunity, and he doesn't have to think about the little spraying he's done. This is now a completely new shot, and he's clear his mind, and hopefully he'll make good contact and get his momentum back up.
One good shot here.
Lovely smooth swing and a beautiful shot. What a great shot. And that's going to really do wonders for his confidence. Here's the danger we talked about before. Owen not only clearing this yellow, but beautifully staying in front of the hoop. Very, very nice shot. Not quite as much distance on the yellow as he might have gone for, but the trade-off for that is the excellence of the black.
Owen has had an attempt at that hoop from slightly less than that distance twice now, and failed the hoop. So he would have liked black to be a lot closer. Richard trying to get in the way to block black's passage through, or just put some doubt in Owen's mind and whether he'll go with black or whether he'll have to clear yellow.
Absolutely. There's some pressure there for Owen now, because he knows that if black fails, yellow is in a position to do something. So, yeah, good shot from Richard.
So I think bring blue in and depend on black to clear yellow. Oh, well, that didn't quite work.
No, blue's not really much of a runner there. It's a jawser, I suppose. So there might still be some benefit to clearing the yellow. Let's see what Richard does with this shot.
Richard's been forced to make quite a lot of long shots during this part of the game.
Very interesting stance, isn't it? With the mallet held back at 20 degrees or so. And a nice clonk on the black, or it hasn't really moved the black all that far. I think black will still have visibility of the yellow. Let's see as we pan around. Oh, look at that. Might not.
No.
Well.
Well, he's lining up for something. He might be able to see it.
Might be able to see a wafer of it, yeah. No, he just tries to tickle in the back door. So, now Trish, if Richard's going to make this, can he make it with an ordinary shot, or does he have to jump?
I think it was clear, but I'd need to see a different angle to be sure on that.
Oh, okay, so the black isn't sort of nestled in the jaws there. Difficult to tell from this angle. Oh, bad luck. Well, it would have been a nice hoop to make.
Blue. It would. I think it might leave blue with a jump to run the hoop here.
Yeah, unfortunate for Richard there, because had he made that black in a sort of compromised position, and the red ball is not offside where it is as well, so it would have been a really juicy hoop for Richard to have made. Owen now to do
coming
the jump.
Forward for the jump.
Nice camera angle. Oh, nicely thrown.
Nicely done.
5-1.
Yeah, he's still in trouble when he tries to move the black.
Yep, and the red in quite a nice position to play the opening shot into hoop 7.
There could be a little turnaround here.
Yep. That looks perfect.
Yes, I don't think black has much of a shot on it. I'm thinking if black doesn't have a shot on it, Richard may use yellow to disturb blue's position so that it can't fire at red either. He's got to do something drastic because he's 1-5.
Well, maybe, do you think he's even looking to put the black down by hoop 8 here?
I think he's making sure that yellow can't do what I was just suggesting, because he couldn't interfere with red using black. And if yellow stopped blue from moving red, then red runs the hoop. So I think Owen was saying, well, I can't disturb red with black, I'll just disturb yellow.
Yep, that's nice thinking.
Richard's looking at that blue. He's looking for a block, I think. Oh no, maybe just a position. No,
that's another nice runner.
Yeah, that is good. Visible to black, but still
Yes.
It's a good shot.
Not just a little bit over 7 yards, and the
There
red
it
is
goes.
cleared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice clearance. Always a bit heartbreaking, isn't it, Trish, when you've got a ball in front of the hoop and your opponent knocks you away.
It's a mean game.
Particularly when they do it from about 28 yards. that's the worst thing.
You do expect it from 7 yards from players at this standard. Richard just brings it back.
The result there, isn't it? It's interesting, you're in pole position. Your opponent knocks you away. You think, okay, I'll come back in, but then you're not in as good a position as you were to begin with.
Well, black can only clear a ball to the boundary here, so it'll only ever be 7 yards away.
Oh, right, centre ball.
Good shot.
Fantastic.
Good shot.
Well, those two balls have gone off on the same spot. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They don't interfere with each other until the balls are played.
So, Richard going to have a go at the hoop now?
Well, he's not just got to win this hoop, he's got to win the next one as well, hasn't he? So I think that, yeah, at the risk of being cleared by the blue, I think he's got to try and be in a position where he's going to win the next two hoops. So just winning this one and giving Owen the first shot into hoop 8 is, is a bit average. You can't afford to trade hoops at this stage at all.
No, he needs a string of hoops now. Blue's just shifting them both. Well, there is a spot that Richard can get to now that will stop black from running the hoop and is also hidden from blue behind yellow.
Oh, yes.
And he hasn't quite got it, but I'm not sure if black can see. But certainly blue can't see red from this angle anyway. He looks like he's jumping.
Yeah, he does. And good effort.
Well, Richard can clear this with a cut. Blue can go much further east, west.
Oh, it's a cuddle.
Oh, no, just
it's a
cuddle.
Look at that. Nuzzling up there.
Leaves red in the box seat. Owen's going for. They must be touching.
This is a croquet shot now, Trish.
Yeah, I think so. No, he's just going to avoid
a passed roll down to hoop 8 is the go there.
Well, it will be legal down there, but it's near the wrong hoop.
I mean, seriously, there was an opportunity there to play a pass roll, wasn't there? And actually put that blue ball right in front of hoop 8. So, yes, keep going, Richard. Get that red ball down. It's sort of got about halfway. So, yeah, not a bad outcome, but if we manage to get it right plumb in front of the next hoop, that could have really turned things around. And I'm putting a good steady shot in with the black.
Mm. And remember that blue is well down the court, so it's within cooey of the hoop. Richard parks the yellow down there. Blue would be well able to clear it.
The lawn looks a little bit bumpy, doesn't it? It's as that yellow came down, it sort of bobbled a fair bit over some of the little indentations.
There's still scarifying lines on the court. The grass hasn't quite grown over. Mm.
Yeah, so the striations are from the scarification. Yeah.
Mm.
He looks like he's shaping for the hoop shot here, Trish.
It does look like that because, of course, if he doesn't clear black, black's going to clear yellow. Right.
Yeah. It's ambitious.
Well, it'd be an impressive hoop.
That's what he's doing. No, oh, he was. No, that was a kick of the camera and a great shot. Really nice shot.
Mm.
It really looked for all money that he was going for the hoop, but that was just the sort of parallax of the camera view. Now it'd be important to see where Owen might fall in because it isn't blocked from the yellow. But a really nice shot, beautiful.
It leaves Owen with a quite difficult clearance.
Yeah, good 10 yards or so.
With the ball just in the way. He's trying to snuggle.
Oh, swerve this way and that right at the end, didn't it? Well,
might be a block.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think he must have visibility of the hoop with this one. It's because it almost looks clear from this angle. If the camera was moved over to the right a little bit, then I'm sure it would reveal that there is a clear passage. But
well, he's puzzling over it a bit.
He is.
Oh yes. Oh, I think he's looking to jump. It must be blocking him just a little bit.
Yeah, just a wafer. Interesting. Yeah, so he's going to play a jump shot to make the hoop.
It's quite awkward to jump when the ball's close to you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Got to get some height early.
Oh, bad luck. It's the outside edge of
the
leg.
Black.
Well, black did enough, didn't it? By black coming in, it changed a standard hoop running shot into a pretty difficult jump.
Yes, and now he's got a slightly angly, fairly long hoop. That shouldn't be a problem, but it was.
Oh, commentator's curse there, Trish. It comes off the right-hand leg and squirts across the face of the hoop. And
he had the same problem at hoop 6. That distance at hoop 6, he didn't manage either. But he did have 2 balls that could run. I think black's still in running position.
Close up of the striker, and I think he missed because I didn't hear another clunk, and I saw him admonish himself as the red ball went through, and that now gives Owen the shot that yellow should have had a couple of rotation ago.
Richard does seem to be attempting clearances most of the time.
Yes.
Owen's snuggle tactics and block tactics worked at the last shot. I wonder if Richard might have been able to try that, given that Owen missed with the blue ball, just to put some doubt in his mind.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is interesting as well if your clearances are not working. Actually going back to do blocking and snuggling and things like that, just to sort of get that adrenaline out of your system, because it is quite traumatic to see your clearances squirting past and having to walk all the way over to the opposite boundary to mark the ball back in. And I think sometimes just using a block or a snuggle to reset it can do wonders for your psychology.
It can also, it's just a change of tactics that the opponent now has to react to as well.
Yeah.
It'd be wonderful if we could always clear 20 yarders or even 7 yarders all the time.
Oh, well, Owen giving Richard a little nudge into into a hoop running position from what was not a hoop running position before.
A very happy nudge. I was not happy with that either.
And it would be funny if red came in and gave yellow a further nudge.
Hope not. We like to see the person who's losing at the moment have a little change up. I'm too frightened to say we could see a 3-6 score here. Oh dear.
Owen not clearing the yellow, but instead clearing the blue.
Yeah. All right. This is Richard's chance to make a bit of a difference to the score. Make it look like he has a good chance of winning.
And again, if he can get 2 hoops out of this, things are very resurrectable.
Well, he'd like to see it go to hoop 13.
Oh,
very disappointing for him.
Yeah. And that gives Owen a chance to bring both his balls back in, with Richard's balls, neither of them being in any sort of position to run.
He's hanging back a little, so that there's no real option for a clearance. So Richard going for the block, but of course black still sitting there could clear that ball. This is the 7-yard.
Well, we've seen Owen do some lovely 7-yard clearances, haven't we? He's picked them off like cherries from the tree.
He doesn't have to clear it, but he's gone for the gentle clearance so that he would still be in running position, I think.
Yeah. Well, red is certainly in a position where it can do something if the blue can be impeded in some way, and at the moment it just looks like the biggest impediment it's going to get is being hit to the boundary.
Yes, can't hit it far.
Oh.
I think trying for a cut to send the blue off to the side.
That's right. That's the sort of cut best left at the butcher's. And this for the game.
Yes, it is. That's that same problem we had at 6 and again at 8.
Well, another chance for Richard. A bit more angled than his previous opportunity.
He can't afford to jaws it either with blue on the other side there.
No. Oh, nice.
Nicely done.
And that looks like a good pace. That looks like a good pace up to hoop 10. Let's see what it looks like.
We'd given the game to Owen at that stage, hadn't we?
We
and
had.
Now it's looking much different.
He was shooting for the game there. Now, where did that red end up? Oh, well, not bad. The yellow can come in nicely here.
You see black swing away there to the right of the hoop.
Yes, there's a fair bit of borrow on that section of the lawn. It should cause some amusement in the McRobertson Shield, which will start this time next week.
Yes, and the locals will know.
That's an interesting shot. He's gone, although it did take some of that borrow that we talked about.
Yes.
Oh, that's a very nicely placed blue ball.
So now there's a dilemma. If red clears black, black can come back. If red clears blue, black can get into position in front of the hoop and yellow has to clear it. So there's a sequence that Richard has to decide which sequence he wants to play in. Yeah, we could have a festival of clearances here, being the first. Well, that was important that red stayed closer than blue, so he succeeded with that. Oh, referee coming out.
Oh, what's that for? Oh, a bit of lawn damage, is it?
Looks like it. There's
yeah, look at that. There's a bit of turf that Owen's about to pick up. Yeah, that looks like damage.
Richard
look at that.
Richard moved and looked at the ground, didn't he?
He didn't just put his foot on it and pretended nothing had happened.
But it wasn't in a jump, so it's not likely to be a fault.
Well, we had an interesting little discussion about that in our game recently, didn't we, Trish? That was in a game of AC, though.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, I'm blocking red's view of the hoop there.
So now Richard's got to decide if Owen's blue ball is close enough to clear his red, if he takes position now with yellow.
Yes, the blue didn't go all that far, did it? It's probably only about 5 yards away from the red.
Yes, I think that black has to be dispatched because red won't be there.
Yes. Yep.
Nice shot.
Off the black goes.
I wonder if he was trying to cut it to get an in off from that. It would have been a lucky shot if he did. Certainly yellow's gone off in a cut.
Oh, Owen just tickling in with the blue. He didn't try and clear the red. I suppose he feels that red's quite a long way away.
Yes.
Do you go for the hoop here, Trish, or do you stun the blue?
I think I'd hit the blue.
I would
as long
too.
as yes, because blue can't turn around and come back. As long as it just hits it away so that it can't run the hoop and he stays.
Yeah, that's a
So
good,
he's
good,
still
good
there,
shot.
so that's all good.
Yeah, the red is still there. And the blue's a long way away. So, yeah. Yep.
I wonder if there's an opportunity now for yellow to promote red back.
Oh, they've ended up pretty close to each other on that northern boundary. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, if yellow plays at sort of medium pace towards the red, if it misses, it's no massive deal, and if it hits, it could be devastating. Yeah, very interesting option.
Owen
and
keeping his
at
distance.
6-3 down, you know, have you got to try something?